YAHUAH'S breath. Trinity, is that truth or is that a lie? It's a lie. Because the Father Yahuwah is one. There is none beside him. The God is pagan. The CROSS is pagan. So how can you believe anything of it? The HOLY is a deity. How can you believe anything that these people say? The simple answer is that you can't. The whole thing about it is Satan is deceiving the world in so many ways. Why do you think they call it a pulpit? They're pulling you to the pit. Yahuwah is one. A man has a wife, children, and a job. Is he one man or is he three? Does he get one paycheck or does he get three? Pray for discernment so that you understand that Yahuwah is one. It's a very special thing, and don't box the Father in. I learned a long time ago when I got on this path, almost 10 years ago. Don't box Yahuwah in, because he can be in a million places at one time, and in the next second only be in one place. He is one man with three jobs. Is this a Trinity, or is it one Father with three jobs? One Yahuwah, three jobs. Do you get it? There is a YAHUSHA. He was created on day one. His name means Yahuwah delivers, or Yahuwah is deliverance. Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, Elohim created the Shamaim and the Eretz. And the Eretz was formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Ruach of Yahuwah was moving on the surface of the Maim. And Yahuwah said, "Let light come to be," and light came to be. And Yahuwah saw the light, that it was good. And Yahuwah separated the light from the darkness. And Yahuwah called the light Yam, and the dark he called Layla. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first Yam. Genesis 1, verse 1 through 5. So Shamaim was created on day one. So Yahusha was that light that he created, because he knew that he would need a body to be able to talk to his children, because he wanted them to be able to see him. But you see, the Father Yahuwah is Ruach, and the Ruach is see-through, just like air is see-through, or a breath when you blow it out. The only time you can see a breath is when you blow it out and it's got the moisture showing up as a cloud. So Yahuwah is see-through. And if anybody ever saw his true light, people would not live with it. They would be unalive, because that's what happened with Aaron's children. They saw him and they were immediately unalive. Yahusha is the word, Yahuwah, Sabaoth, the bridegroom, and is Yahuwah. It means Yahuwah delivers. And this was his main job, was to be Yahuwah in the flesh. Remember, he used to say to worship the Father only. So when he was unalive on the stake or the tree, depending on which version that you read, but he was hung up on that. He was unalive in the fleshly body, not the spirit of the Father Yahuwah. For Yahuwah cannot become unalive, because he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And Yahuwah doesn't need the fleshly body after this whole thing finishes. So he will be walking on the earth because he has made it new again with a new Yerushalayim, and we will be in Ruach form. So we will not need flesh. The Shamaim. So everything in the outer space was created by Yahuwah, including the Malachim. And Elohim said, "Let space come to be in the midst of the Ma'im, and let it separate the Ma'im from the Ma'im." And Yahuwah made space and separated the Ma'im, which were under the space, from the Ma'im, which were above the space, and it was so. And Yahuwah called the space Shamaim, and there was evening and there was morning, the second Yom. Genesis 1, verse 6 through 8. Some of those standing there, having heard, said, "This one calls Eliyahu." And immediately one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with sour wine and put it on a reed and gave it to him to drink. But the rest said, "Leave it. Let us see if Eliyahu comes to save him." And Yahusha cried out again with a loud voice and gave up his ruach. Matthew 27 verses 47 through 50. On a side note, that sponge that they took was not just used for giving drink to the prisoners and to the ones that were on the stake. It was also their bathroom sponge. So when you're drinking your drinks and you're doing all these things that are in the world, think about it sometime, about the pain and the suffering that the Father Yahuwah went through. Ruach HaKodesh is Yahuwah. But Kepha said, "Kananya, why has Shaitan filled your heart to lie to the Kodesh Ruach and keep back from the price of the land for yourself? While it remained, did it not remain your own? And after it was sold, was it not in your authority? Why have you conceived this deed in your heart? You have not lied to men, but to Yahuwah." Acts 5, 3 through 5. Yahuwah is the Ruach HaKodesh, one of the jobs of Yahuwah, and he has many. Ruach HaKodesh is Yahuwah. He is, he was, and he always will be one Yahuwah. He's not three separate beings. He is one being that's got three separate jobs. I am Yahuwah. There is none besides me. Don't put anything in front of my face, says Yahuwah. And Yahuwah spoke all these words, saying, "I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of slavery. You have no other mighty ones against my face." Shema, Exodus 20, verses 1 through 3. I am Yahuwah, and besides me there is no deliverer. Yeshayahu, Isaiah 43:11.